Hello guys, welcome back to me critiquing myself part 2. So I'm about to start off making a new piece, and obviously when that happens, it's probably good to go back to your old piece and see what you can improve from before. And from my last piece where I actually critiqued this one, I feel like I've done a lot to improve since then. The main issues that I had were clothes folds, the hand going in a little too far, and the where the hair was coming from. It looks like a little crater in her head, like someone bonked her on the head. So it looks like she has a dent in there. So with that, I've made slow improvements to fix that. But before that, I actually made this right here. And even though I think it is a slight improvement from this, not because it looks better, but because like you don't see the kind of head dent and you see the hair coming from much more places than just one spot throughout the head, which someone gave me advice where not all hair strands come from one point, they come from multiple points from different parts of the head. They're just usually lined up towards your hairline, like your hairline up here, and then there's like a little ridge down your head that has hair come out of. So someone gave me that advice, and I tried that, and it looked a lot better. I also think the hands are a big improvement, though I do think they're a little chubby. I think they're a little chubby. So with all this in mind, even though I never finished this piece because I didn't like it, it did help me improve. And now we result in this, where the hands are much more detailed, they're much nicer, but they're also thinner. They look less pudgy. The hair comes from kind of this hairline that kind of comes all the way down, and then it marks at this point where the front bangs come through. And I think, in my opinion, the face looks leagues better. Someone told me in my last video, because I listened to all your critiques, so please, if you have any critiques you want to give me, please feel free to give me them in the comments or wherever I post my pieces on Instagram. If you see them on Discord, or if you see them on my YouTube videos or on my community posts, please notify me, because I actually do listen to those. Someone gave me the critique where her features are too big on her face. So what did I do? I made them smaller, made them softer, and I put them back on the face, and I think they fit a lot better now. So with that in mind, I think this piece is a pretty solid step forward to a style that I much more prefer. Much farther away from this, which was a couple of days ago. This was not even like, I think 6 or 7 days ago, and we have went from that to this to this to this. And I'm very happy with the progression we've made. I even fixed the clothes folds. I think the clothes folds are a lot better in this piece. Much better. But with all the praise I'm giving it, that does not mean that it is in any way, shape, or form good, perfect, or close to where I want it to be. There are still plenty of things to improve on. There's still plenty of things to grow from. And that means it's time to red mark my piece. So I hope you guys are willing to join me. Now, I really only have 2 main issues with this piece because that's all I can see. I'm full of bias. I'm full of well, just in general bias. There's not really it. I'm just full of it. And there's also plenty of stuff that I don't know that I need to improve. You don't know what you don't know. And the whole point of these videos is to put it out there so people might know, and they might tell me personally. So feel free to do whatever you'd like. Last time I invited people to even DM me on Instagram and be like, hey, I think this is the issue. All right. And I think it'd be great. So feel free to do whatever you'd like to do. But I'm going to mark this piece right now. Now, the 2 problems I have are something with the face and something with the leg. Oh my god, look at it. I've been avoiding it. It's so ugly. Now, I think the issue comes from the fact that I was very scared of the connection point between the shin and the top portion of the ankle. If you look at the reference that we have right here, it comes in 3 bumps. 1 bump here for the knee, a 2nd bump for the little fat towards the shin, and then I think a 3rd bump for when the shin curves out and kind of cuts in front of the ankle. I didn't like that. I didn't like how it foreshortened, and you can kind of see this is where the cow pokes out and kind of connects back in. I didn't like how it completely has a solid line that distinctly disconnects the top portion of the shin and the bottom portion of the ankle. I don't know why. I thought it would look more natural than a real life photo, by having some form of connection between the shin and the bottom ankle. And clearly I was wrong. Clearly. Because right after all of that, I could not figure out how to do this at all. And I ended up with a product that looks so much worse. And I feel like the shoe actually helps because it disconnects the part from the top portion of the ankle to the rest of her foot. I didn't draw the shoe, not because I have a weird thing for feet, which honestly I do need to practice on drawing feet. This is all right, but I still need to practice on actually drawing feet because I never really focused on that. I focused on the hands because that's what I took priority in before. But that doesn't change the fact that I probably should draw shoes next time, because I also need to practice on drawing shoes in general. But this is clearly an issue that was not improved by me trying to wing it, quote unquote, and just try to do it in my own way. So obviously a big issue. I do have the first bump, I do have the second bump, but clearly I did not do the third bump that closes off between the ankle and the shin, and it resulted in something pretty bad. So we're gonna circle this, do an arrow, point, point, sad face, follow, reference. Now someone on Instagram actually did give me advice on it, so I might follow that, but I haven't really read it all the way through because I was at work at the time. So once I give that a read, we will give that a try. Okay, so follow reference. This is pretty bad. Secondly, and this is my main problem, and this is the reason why this is my main problem, is because I hold a lot of priority with the face when it comes to anime art. I think for anime, the face is very, 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 very important, because that is the entire selling point of a lot of pieces. Anime has very big expressions, very big eyes, very big features that draw in a lot of people and eyes towards the piece. And because of that, if the face looks off, it looks off. It's really bad. It's not a good thing to have the face be off. Now, I'm very happy with the line work of this piece. I think it's very great. I love what I did with the hands. Before, the hands were an issue. I think they were too chubby, they were too big, they were too far into the head. I should have showed more in the hand. I did it again, where I showed more of the hand, which was an improvement, but then again, I left it too chubby. So then, for this piece, I thinned it out, made it look a lot better, and I'm very happy with the amount of detail I added with the knuckles, with a little bit of some like roughed up skin folds towards the knuckles on the upper portion, like the second, like these knuckles on the fingers. Though this one has 2 knuckles, this one has 1 and 1 and 1. I usually stick to 2 knuckle fingers, just like how it's stylized that way. But I guess sometimes I would do 3. See, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 1, 1. So I guess it's not consistent. So that's one problem I totally didn't even realize until just now. But the problem I have is with the face, with the nose. It's with the nose. I can't help but look at this nose and think of Voldemort from Harry Potter. I think it looks really goofy, and I already know how to fix it. So in the next piece, I'm going to make a very intentional change, that the nose is further towards the mouth than it is towards the eyes, because that's just how it works. That's just how it works. The nose's nostrils, at least, should be closer to the mouth than it is the eyes, because that's just how it is. Like, because like when you draw anime, a lot of anime only shows like a line for the nose, or like just the nostrils, or just something like that to keep the nose very minimal. And if I'm going to show at least the nostrils are the bottom part of the nose, so they definitely should be closer to the mouth than to the face. Before, we had it 50-50. Before, we had the same distance between the eyes than it is to the mouth. So in this new change, we will simply bring it down a little bit, not too far. And I also want to add more red. I want to add more color to the nose. I think the nose is, even though I don't want to add too much color to it, I think there's not enough color. I don't think there's enough. So what I would do is I'm going to kind of like, I would color the bottom to show that her bottom portion is being seen because her nostrils are being seen. And then I would add kind of like this line. This line, I'm drawing my mouse right now, so it's not gonna look amazing. This line, like that. What is my, there we go. Nose like that, and then keep this part light. So that's how I would change it. But obviously with watercolor, not with like big blocks of color. So that's how I do it. I would change the position. I would change the point of the nostrils to have it closer to the mouth, because that's just how it works. And then I would add more color to the nose to show the light first off hitting this portion of the nose and the shadow being this portion of the nose, and then just overall letting the nose be more visible so it doesn't look completely invisible. Because even though I'm not a fan of showing the nose on my anime pieces, I don't want it to be completely gone, you know? I'm not a fan of it being completely just whoosh away. But yeah, those are all of the critiques that I personally have looking at my piece. Now, that being the case, if you have anything you would like to point out yourself, please do so. I'm just trying to improve. I'm just trying to get better at art, and it would be lovely if any of you guys could come up to me and just be like, hey, I think the problems or issues are here, here, and here, and I do agree with your video, but I think you should do it this way. That would be wonderful. That'd be amazing. As long as it's constructive, as long as it's nice criticism, then I will always accept it. Besides that, that's all I have for you today. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. and take good care. Yeah, this is probably gonna be out in like a couple hours. So, bye, bye, bye. Oh, feel free to follow my Instagram and Discord or some stuff like that. See ya.